Good morning. This is Mike with the National Weather Service in Jackson, Mississippi, with a weekly weather briefing for this Thursday, April 9th, 2026. As important updates to mention, we're still expecting warmer than normal temperatures and mostly dry weather through next week. However, there's a low chance for severe storms possible in the northwest Wednesday, perhaps into Thursday. Its key messages: we're expecting high pressure that's centered to our east to remain dominant over our region through next week. This high pressure is both surface and aloft. This will lead to warmer than normal temperatures and generally dry weather. The dry conditions this week will maintain ongoing drought concerns and possibly fire weather concerns as well. There is isolated severe storm potential Wednesday into Thursday at this time. For the general overall weather pattern, this particular graphic shows a surface high ridging back across the Gulf Coast states from the east, and this particular surface feature is expected to remain pretty stout and dominant through the week. What's not shown on here is upper levels, and high pressure centered basically east of our area will also be in play. However, there are forecast models that suggest the ridging both surface and aloft will weaken toward the middle of next week and allow a storm system to affect our county warning area. This will result in warmer than normal temperatures and generally dry weather until that particular system affects our county warning area Wednesday into Thursday. This graphic depicts the warming trend that we're expecting, with highs today basically in 77 to 84 range, and by Sunday we're looking for 83 to 86 range. So as you can see, we're looking for a warming trend each day, topping out. Even in the lows, the morning lows will be a degree or two warmer each morning. Okay, the weather pattern overview for Wednesday into Thursday. You can see from the central part of the graphic, the Wednesday graphic still shows the surface high nosing in from the east. However, we're starting to see precipitation from a series of stalled fronts and frontal patterns across the plains. Most of the severe activity will be limited this week just to our west. However, if you look by Thursday at the graphic to the top right, you see a cold front that's kind of edging into Mississippi, southeast Arkansas, and our northeast Louisiana parishes. So it's with this particular system that shows some potential for severe weather into our area into the Wednesday to Thursday time frame. So look for additional refinements to this potential in any particular graphics that we may distribute issue in the next several days if the potential continues to remain the same or intensify over the next several days. This particular graphic comes from the Storm Prediction Center. It's showing the severe weather outlook that we're talking about, day 7, Wednesday, April 15th. And as always, this is a 15% slight risk area, which will always be bounded by some sort of a marginal threat, an isolated threat. So if this were to occur today, there would probably be some marginal green area edging into our county warning area with a more isolated threat of severe. This is the event that we're going to be monitoring over the next week, and we'll be posting any changes, creating any graphics that may depict a threat to our county warning area. So look for changes over the next several days in our products. When it's all said and done, the dry weather that's expected for the next 7 days across the southeast and the east coast, edging into our area, shows the dominance of the high pressure surface and aloft that I've been talking about. The rainfall that you see is from the last part of the day, day 6, day 7, as the potential storm systems from the west actually begin to start trying to push further east. So, with the little amount of rain forecast through the next week, our drought conditions are expected to continue. So, generally, across the eastern portions of Mississippi, abnormally dry conditions will continue for this week. As you get along and to the west of Interstate 55, we're looking for moderate drought to extreme drought conditions to continue across portions of northeast Louisiana, southeast Arkansas, and western Mississippi. And with the lack of rainfall and the drought conditions continuing, the flows on our local streams and rivers are below normal for this time of year, and forecasts remain so until we get appreciable rainfall across the region. To summarize, I talked about how high pressure centered east of our area remains dominant over the region through the next week. This will lead to warmer than normal temperatures and generally dry weather. The dry conditions this week will maintain ongoing drought conditions and possibly result in fire weather concerns as well. However, there is a low chance of isolated severe storms Wednesday into Thursday as the systems start to progress eastward. This concludes this week's multimedia weather briefing, and as always, thanks for viewing. Our next regularly scheduled briefing will be held again Thursday, April 16th.